Hi guys, this is the lesson on day 3 from your assignment packet. It's about distributive property. We talked about distributive property before, where you knew that if you have addition or subtraction inside of the parentheses and then multiplied by a number that is outside, that we do not have to add or subtract what's inside first. We can actually multiply each number inside with a number from outside. So 4 times 5 plus 4 times x. And when we simplify that, we have 4 times 5 is 20, and 4 times x is 4x. This distributive property is really useful when we have a situation where we have a variable inside of the parentheses, because the only way we can simplify this expression is if we use the distributive property. If we did have a number instead of x, we could have done addition first and then multiplied by 4. Now, this form here is called factor form. So whenever you see parentheses, that's a factored form. When you see this form of that same expression, that's expanded form. Another property that we can just mention here quickly is commutative property, and that property applies to only addition and multiplication, where it says that if you multiply two numbers in order that they are set, it would be the same answer as if you switch the sides of those two numbers. And that's for multiplication, and that's for addition. So how do we use distributive property and simplify when it's possible? So here we have 5 times x minus 3. Because we cannot subtract these two, we don't know what x is. We can only simplify it by using the distributive property, where we take 5 and multiply by x. So I will write it at first what I'm doing, and then minus, and then we have 5 times 3. Now, this step I'm writing for you so that you can see what I'm doing, but you actually don't have to write it. You can directly go to 5 times x is 5x, that would come from that, and then minus 5 times 3, which is 15. That's it. That's how far you go, because you cannot combine these two. They do not have the same variable. I will skip a b for now. I'll do c and d, and then we'll go back to b. So for c, here we are. We have distributive property. We have something inside the parentheses multiplied by the number outside. The only way to simplify it would be to distribute 2 to both members inside, which would be 2 times 3m, so 2 times 3m, plus we have 2 times 7, and then we carry 8m. 8m is a not being multiplied by 2, so we can't do anything with it, just copy down. Now here, 2 times 3m, that is, guys, this, 2 times 3 times m. And you can see how you can actually multiply 2 and 3. So that would be 6m plus 2 times 7 is 14, and that's what you can see from here, plus 8m. Now, do we have anything that we can combine like terms? 8m and 6m have both the same variable, so 6m plus 8m will give me 14m, and then plus 14 I cannot combine with anything, I'll just copy it. Let's check D. So again, we need to distribute first 3 to both members inside, so we have 3 times x plus 3 times 2x squared plus 2x, that cannot be. Nothing can be done with it. Just carry it down. Notice x and x squared, they are not like terms, because this one has square and that one does not. So to simplify this, we have 3x plus 3 times 2 is 6x squared plus 2x. And now 3x plus 2x we can combine because they both have x in them. 3 plus 2 will give us 5x, and then then we just copy 6x squared. Now let's talk about b. What we have here that is different from the rest of it is that we have 4y minus what's in parentheses. So now what's happening there, we actually are not adding what's in parentheses, in which case we could simply drop the parentheses. But we need to subtract each member here. So this minus tells me subtract y, and it tells me subtract 6. There is another thing that I can do. I can actually put 1 in front of the parentheses, in which case I need to distribute -1 to both members inside. So here is what I have there. I have -1 times y, or I need to subtract y. Then I have -1 times 6, which would be subtraction of 6, but don't forget 4y in front of it, because that one is not changing. So now, again, I can combine these two. 4y minus 1y, which will give me 3y, and then minus 6 cannot be combined by anything. I simply copy it down. One more thing that we haven't experienced before with distributive property is writing it backwards. So now here I'm given expanded 4. So I'm literally, like for example, if I was looking at this here, I was given this 4. I need actually to write it with a parentheses. So how do I do that? I am first thinking, how can I break this 2x into parts? That would be 2 times x plus, then I'm thinking, how can I break 10 into multiplying two numbers where one of them matches one of these? If I break it into 2 times 5, I notice I have 2 multiplying both of these. So I take 2 out in front of parentheses, and I have x plus 5 inside. For the second one, the same thing. I am thinking 4a I can break into 4 times a, but then 18 I cannot break into 4 times anything evenly. But I can break this one into 2 times 2a, and then I can break 18 into 2 times 9, in which case I have 2 multiplying both of these. Get it out. I have 2a left here, and minus 9 in the other one. So these are your notes for day 3.